This is the only place where they saw him weeping. It said that his spirit was very troubled. And after his spirit was troubled, continue there.
And he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see.
Stop there. We see this taking a completely different turn. The same prayer was prayed. The same Jesus was there. Jesus the same yesterday, today, forever. The same Christ. And so when he was approached that way, we see that Jesus was moved. His spirit was very troubled. And we saw him crying. And then he asked, where have you laid him? I want to take it here a little bit, to tell you. The moment he said that, remember, the women that were with Mary were there. The disciples, they were on the other side. Okay, these disciples, remember that they were so confused that everything they were saying was completely contradictory to what Jesus was saying. They said, well, if he's sleeping, then let him sleep because he will be well. And when he said, well, he's dead now. So, well, if he's dead now, why don't you, we cannot go there so we can, do you want us to go there so we can die with him? And so they were so confused. Now, these people, the same people, they were confused. They did not understand what Jesus was doing. They were on one side, and the Marys and the company of mourners were on the other side. And they heard that. Jesus says, where have you laid him? That is a frozen moment in time. Where now we begin to see the climax of the whole situations. Because see, they've never seen Jesus go to the tomb that way. They've never seen Jesus, let's go to someone who's dead and say, they've never seen Jesus go to tombs. Jesus does not do tomb ministries. But this time they said, Jesus saying, where have you led him? Lead me there. Basically saying, lead me there. Go ahead and pick up.
Jesus wept. The Jews said, see how tenderly he loved him. But some of them said, could not he who opened a blind man's eyes have prevented this man from dying?
Just like the disciple, go ahead.
Now Jesus, again sighing repeatedly and deeply disquieted, approached the tomb. It was a cave, a hole in the rock, and a boulder lay against the entrance to close it.
Stop there. Here they're coming in those dirty roads. Some of you that have been in Africa or some of the third world countries, you know how it is. They're going into these dirty roads, and these people are walking, and there's a lot of noise of people walking by foot. There's a lot of dust going up there. And here comes, they stand right before the tomb. And you could see what was going in their mind. Okay, now. They probably were looking at each other. What's going to happen? Because we've never seen this. And the Bible described the tomb. It's not a pretty picture. First of all, there's a big stone there on the tomb. And secondly, the tomb, when it's closed, is a dark place. And sometimes it's a cold place. There's no life, so nobody can put a tomb in the right way. There's no better way to entertain the tomb. Continue.
Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of the dead man, exclaimed, but Lord, by this time he is decaying and throws off an offensive odor, for he has been dead 4 days. Jesus said to her, did I not tell you and promise you that if you would believe and rely on me, you would see the glory of God?
Stop there. Now we see the whole thing is now being unfolded to us. Now we see the mindset that was leading Martha. This is the person that came to Jesus because she wanted to see her brother raised. But now Jesus said, remove the stone. All of a sudden she said, well, he must, at this point, he's probably sleeping. We cannot bring him up here because see, he will disturb our comfort. We cannot do anything about him. I thought Mary, you wanted your brother to be raised. But now Jesus is trying to do what it takes to raise him. She said, well, no, I don't think it's a good idea right now because he stinks. He's been in there for 4 days. And Jesus had to turn to her and see, it gives us the picture how things were going into that conversation. Didn't I tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? If believe, you will see what? And so we see faith here being in action. Faith, which is the substance of things. And so Jesus had already seen the substance of faith. He's already seen the substance of the resurrection. The disciples did not see it. Martha did not see it. Everybody else did not see it. But Jesus saw the substance of that resurrection. That's why he was talking the way he was talking. Continue.
So they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. Yes, I know you always hear and listen to me, but I have said this on account of and for the benefit of the people standing around, so that they may believe that you did send me, that you have made me your messenger.
Yes, read on.
When he had said this, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. And out walked the man who had been dead, his hands and his feet wrapped in burial cloths, linen strips, and with a burial napkin bound around his face. Jesus said to them, free him of the burial wrappings and let him go.
Stop there. The stone is removed, and Jesus thanked the Father because of the faith of those that were gathering will be increased. Something will happen into the heart. And then he called Lazarus. When he called Lazarus, the Bible tells us that he stood up. I don't know if you realize what it is. Right. This man was lying down horizontally in the tomb. And when Jesus called him, this man stood up on the entrance of the tomb, standing up with his clothes and with his bandages. Was he living? Yes, at that time. And then Jesus said, what? Unwrap him. Basically, loose him. Loose him. I want to stop there.